Welcome back to a Timey-Wimey Pod, where we watch every episode of Doctor Who from 2005 onwards. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Haley.
And today we are discussing Series 4, Episode 7, The Unicorn and the Wasp.
And I don't care what y'all say out there, keep the unicorn and the wasp out of your mouth.
Just getting right into it. Because, you know what? I love this episode. It's so fun.
It's a classic comfort episode. It's the perfect whodunit with an alien twist. It literally has everything in it. Also, one of my favorite tropes is whenever there's a Doctor Who episode that like solves a real life mystery or riddle. And, like,
yes, I love that.
The explanation. So
yeah. Okay, we're really just getting into it. So let's pull back, and are you ready for some fantastic facts?
Yes, I am, and sorry. I just feel really strongly about defending this episode.
No, I'm with you because it's so cozy, it's so comfy. Like watching it yesterday after like a long day, I was like, this is so nice.
No, it's so nice.
Well, this episode aired May 17th, 2008. It was written by Gareth Roberts and directed by Graham Harper. Good old Graham Harper. You know, we've seen him around. Now, as you may or may not know, this episode originally had a different opening and a different ending. The original opening started with an older Agatha Christie, and she's trying to remember, you know, what happened to her, what happened in her past, like why she can't remember those 10 days or whatever it is. And then it ends with the original ending has the Doctor and Donna going to visit her, and they show her the copy of her book printed in the year 5 billion, and she remembers them, and she remembers like the wasp and everything. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Haley, have you seen these deleted scenes?
Yes, I have. But if I'm being honest, I didn't really know about them until like a year or two ago. So it's a somewhat recent-ish development that I discovered, but I love these deleted scenes so much, and I understand why they didn't put them in this episode. They wanted it to have a completely different feel and conclusion, and I totally get that and support that and don't have a problem with that, but I do just love that we still, you know, got those deleted scenes to see what their original vision was, and I just find like the intention behind it, like, I don't know, it just makes my heart so happy.
Me too. I do love that, like, she gets to see in the deleted scene, she gets to see that her work lives on long past her life, and I think that's really sweet. And I always love like just stuff like that in the show. It's really sweet. I do understand why they were deleted. I'm okay that they were deleted because I do feel like it kind of would mess up with the flow, which is why they were cut in the first place. But yeah, I'm glad that we have them as deleted scenes. Now, Agatha Christie's real-life grandson, Matthew Picard, he actually went to the read-through of this episode, and he gave his enthusiastic approval to her portrayal, and I just think that's really sweet.
And, like, that is such a cool thing to be able to flex as a writer in Doctor Who.
Yeah, totally. It's really nice when you know that they get these historical people accurately or just portray them really well. I don't know, it's always nice to hear. It's like in The Unquiet Dead, which gets a reference in this episode. We'll talk about it. The actor who played Charles Dickinson, he's a huge Charles Dickinson fan, so he signed on because he really liked the portrayal, and so it's always just cool to hear stuff like that.
It is. And you totally just said Dickinson instead of Dickens.
Dickens, oh my gosh, sorry guys, it's been a long day. Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
So my last fantastic fact today is that David Tennant's dad, Sandy McDonald, has a little uncredited cameo in this episode. He is playing one of the footmen in the garden drink scene. He's like in the background, kind of blink and you miss it, but kind of fun that he was there.
That is so fun.
Yeah. Now, you texted me earlier today that you had a little fantastic fact to share, so do tell the class.
Okay, so I noticed a couple of years ago something really interesting. Rebecca, did you Did you happen to take note of what was playing on the phonograph?
No.
The drums.
Oh, you know what? I did actually read this on the TARDIS wiki when I was looking up fantastic facts. That is so
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, and it's like overlaid with other music. So like unless you catch it, you're not really going to hear it, but it's there. And yeah, that's my fantastic fact for you is the sound of the drums.
Oh, so interesting.
Wonder what that could signify.
I wonder why. Okay, so I will say one thing about the actual opening of this episode, it does feel a little abrupt in a way. Like you can kind of if when you know that the original opening was cut, you can kind of tell. It just feels like very like an abrupt opening in a way.
Yeah, I know what you mean with like the abrupt start to the episode, but honestly, I really don't mind it. I kind of like it actually.
Yeah, that's so valid. I love a whodunit. We are big murder mystery fans in this house. Have you ever read an
Mhm.
Agatha Christie book?
Have you ever read an Agatha Christie book?
I have not. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
same.
have not. Okay.
I have one. I just haven't read it yet. But I am familiar with like some of her characters, like Miss Marple, and I'm
Yeah,
familiar with some of like her mysteries. I feel like Murder in the Orient Express is like such an iconic Agatha Christie story
totally.
that's really transcended into like every form.
Even a future episode.
Mhm. Exactly what I was thinking of.
But yeah, besides, despite our lack of Agatha Christie knowledge, we are big like murder mystery fans.
Mhm.
So I do like how this episode starts with like a classic like murder mystery episode trope. You see the person get killed, but you don't see it's like, oh, it's you, but you don't know who they're talking. It's just very classic.
Yeah, classic whodunit. I also
Hmm.
love how Professor Peach, I mean, I don't love that he said, but I love that it's Professor Peach and the library killed with a lead pipe, which is so funny
Come
because it
on.
was the wasp that killed him with the lead pipe instead of the stinger.
Wait, you're so funny. I didn't even think about that. Also, why was Professor Peach being so nosy into Lady Edison's business? Like what was going on?
That's actually a great question. I don't know.
Yeah. But no, Professor Peach in the library. I love Clue, the
Me
game
too.
and the movie.
The
So
movie is so good.
so
It's
good.
so
If you
cool.
haven't watched the movie, go watch it. Thank me
Mhm.
later. There's some really great Doctor and Donna moments in this episode. Like they
Mhm.
have such a great, cute, fun friendship. I really love the scene where Donna's, getting ready and the doctor's outside the TARDIS and he knocks on the doors and he's like, "Come on, we'll be late for cocktails." And then she comes out and he tells her she looks lovely. It's so cute. I love how nice and sweet and comfortable their friendship is. It makes me so happy. It really is what makes them stand out compared to other duos on the show.
Yeah, I love Donna's outfit so much and I love her hair. And I just love that
Mm,
she goes all 20s with her little purse. It's great. I feel like we don't have very many if any good Donna outfits, but this is one of them.
totally. I do like the dress. I really appreciate it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. But part of me is like, because we've talked already before, they just really did not know what to do with Catherine Tate this
Yeah.
season. So I did find myself thinking, like, oh, I wonder what they would have done if this was like Amy or Rose or
Yeah.
Clara. I feel like they would have, gone a little bolder, gone a little bigger, but she looks great, so I can't really complain.
Yeah. Continuing on to talking about like great Donna and 10 moments, I love the reactions when they realize that this is a party with Agatha Christie
Yes.
there because literally same. I remember watching this episode for the first time and being like, "Oh my gosh, no way. Agatha Christie is in this episode."
Yeah, I love her introducing herself and Donna being like, "What about her?" Agatha being like, that's me." So great. Such a great introduction. Classic Donna line and moment. It works so well. Now, besides Agatha, we have a whole cast of characters in this
Yeah.
episode. We got to break them down. Let's start with Robina Redmond, even though that's not her name, but we never find out her real name. Robina Redmond, aka the Unicorn. What do you think about her whole deal?
I mean, I don't really have any opinions either way.
Yeah.
I do love that there's multiple aspects in this episode that has different things going on. Like, it's not just the wasp that's murdering people, there's the
Mm-hmm.
unicorn that's stealing things. Like, I just love when a cast in an episode is like fully fleshed out and they have a backstory and they have things about them that they don't want other people to learn. That's something that I think is really difficult to nail down in a single episode of Doctor Who. And it was done so well in this episode. So, Rubina, I really liked the reveal at the end, how she slipped into, her actual real accent and she was like, dang it, you got me. I don't know. I enjoyed that element.
Yeah, I love when her like real accent comes out. It's so funny. And yeah, it's always not always, but I definitely the first couple times watching this, it is kind of a gag. Like, oh yeah, she's the unicorn. That's crazy. And I agree. I love that everyone has their own little secrets and own little mysteries that come out. Also, this is like a really small party. Can we talk about that? Like,
Very small group. And like, what I want to know is like, why specifically all of them together? You
yes,
know?
why was the Reverend invited? Why was he here?
That's what I want to know. Like, because Lady Edison didn't realize, like, she didn't know he was her son. So, like,
Yeah,
why'd she invite him? That's a crazy chance.
right? And like she had never met Robina Redmond, just knew her by reputation and invited her. I don't know. It's very interesting. Oh yeah, we have the thing with the sun and oh gosh, what's is that a footman? Yeah, I think the footman. There's that whole thing. And the son dies. I always forget that he gets killed by the wasp.
Yeah, I always forget that too. I literally was watching this episode and I was like, dang, I forgot that like 3 different people are killed in this episode
Mhm.
besides the wasp at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, rest in peace, Roger. You didn't deserve that.
I know. Like damn, getting killed by your older half brother. Hate to see it.
No, I know.
Okay, before I say this, I am in no way trying to disparage or disrespect Miss Agatha Christie. She's an icon. However, this show, it's just kind of funny. The show does this a lot where it's like this person was the greatest person to do this thing in the
Oh, yeah.
entire human history. And the fact that they really make it like they really hammer home Agatha Christie writes the best mysteries of all time. She's the number one novelist in all of human history. It's just like, okay, like, and it's just kind of like the exaggeration is just always a little funny to me.
Yeah, they definitely tend to exaggerate whatever historical figure is in an episode, just like
Yeah.
really overly hyping them up. So I get what you mean. It's more criticism of the writing than it is about Agatha Christie. And I think her books are still, though, some of the most sold books.
Oh, I'm sure. I love when, the mystery gets started and they start separating people and interrogating them and the doctor gets all excited and Agatha calls him out for being excited about
Yes.
the murder.
She clocks him just like a man to have fun while there's disaster all around him. Truer words have never been spoken.
No, it's a little too accurate, I fear.
Yeah. There's another quote that I really like, but it's said by Donna to 10. And it's when they're talking about like just everything going on. And Donna tells him that's like meeting Charles Dickens at Christmas time surrounded by ghosts. And Tim just goes, well,
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 no, I love the Unquiet Dead reference. And we get a few
mhm,
references in this episode, which I think is really part of the fun. Donna mentions
yeah.
Lance. We get a Karen Knight reference, so reference to the Shakespeare Code, a little Cyberman shout out.
Hmm.
Anything else in here?
I think that's it. I mean, Donna says just like a one off comment that, oh, it seems like there's bees here. talking about the beast disappearing
Um,
again. But it was, in fact, the giant wasp with the giant stinger coming to break into the room Donna was in. Which, okay, I have seen people criticize the special effects and the giant wasp of this entire episode, but you know what? I like it, okay? Is it my
yeah,
favorite of all time? No, but it's fun.
yeah. The
And it doesn't need to be
episode,
serious.
exactly. It's not meant to be that serious. Like, I think people sometimes need to realize like what the monster is of the week isn't actually that important. Sometimes it's just kind of used as a device to tell the story they want to tell. And I think that's okay. Kind of like in most recently the Lucky Day. Like the focus isn't on the screech or whatever that thing
Mhm.
was called. Like it's about everything happening around them. And I would say the same is true here. Like it's not really about the wasp, it's more about like the story they're telling these people in the house, what happened to Agatha Christie. So like I'm okay if the story's good, which in my opinion it is in this episode. I'm okay if the monster is just like a little ridiculous and a giant wasp.
Yeah, it's definitely no Absorbaloff.
Yeah. Hey, it's better than the Lazarus experiment thing.
Girl.
That thing is haunting my nightmares. Let's talk a little bit more about Agatha because we meet her at a really interesting point. She's feeling very deflated. You know, her marriage is
Mhm.
in shambles. She found her husband with a younger woman. Everyone kind of knows. And in classic writer fashion, she's very discouraging of her own work. She doesn't feel like her work matters or that people really care or that it really matters in the long run. And yeah, she's just at a very deflated point. But I really like the end when the doctor says like she goes on to have a really great life and just keeps writing and falls in love. That does kind of make me miss the deleted scene, getting to see her at the end of her life and getting to reflect on everything. But we've already talked about how we feel about that. But
Mhm.
I'm just it's really interesting to see her at this point and see her, feeling kind of deflated, but they really help her be like, you are the you're the greatest, Agatha, and they help her find her confidence, and you really see it coming out in that end scene when they're putting the whole mystery together.
Yeah, like she gets her spark back. And I really like that. I like the aspect that Donna and Ten really help encourage her to keep going and keep moving forward. Skipping ahead to literally the very end of this episode, but I love that Ten says that no one knows how they're going to be remembered. All you can do is hope for the best. And maybe that's what kept her writing. The same thing is what keeps me traveling. And I just really like that sentiment. And it goes
Yeah,
back to like what you're saying. They helped her get her spark back.
yeah, definitely. It's really nice. This is kind of like I want to be careful phrasing this because I feel like people are gonna be like, "Girl, what?" But this is kind of like the spiritual prequel to Vincent and the Doctor in a way.
You know what? I completely understand you.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you see the vision.
I do see the vision. I don't know if any of you listening will, but just know I do. I see the vision.
Thank you, thank you. One of my favorite scenes, one of the best comedic moments of this episode is the poisoning scene. It is
Yes.
so good.
I die every time. Every
Hmm.
time without fail. Doesn't matter how many times I've watched it. The whole back and forth between Ten and Donna, the whole Harvey Wallbanger. How is Harvey Wallbanger one word? It's just incredible.
Salt! That's too salty! The whole interaction is in my mind rent free, and I'm
Mhm.
always so gagged, when Donna gives him the shock. It's always so funny. And I love afterwards, he's like, "Ugh, I gotta do that more often." And then he's like, "The detox. Gotta do the detox more often."
And I just want to point something out right now. After, this scene, it's now official. The 10th Doctor has kissed each of his companions.
It's a problem. It's really a problem.
It's actually a problem. Which, like, okay, he did not have to kiss Martha and really shouldn't have kissed Martha. Like, that
Oh,
was so
so bad.
ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
So ridiculous. This comedic. This was so funny, and obviously there is no way ever
Yeah.
between Donna and Ted, and that's what makes it so funny.
Also, at the beginning, Agatha assumes they're a couple, which is just like everyone is assuming these two are a couple, which I just think is really funny.
Well, no, she doesn't exactly assume they're a couple because she says, "Are you guys a couple?" And they're like, "No," and she's like, "Well, yeah, I know, no wedding rings."
Well, she says, "No, we're not." Yeah, she says, "You guys make an odd couple," and they're like, "We're not married," and she's like, "Obviously not. No wedding ring."
No, you're right. My bad.
No, you're good. Okay. The dinner scene, they're all at the dinner, the lights go out. How do they not see the Reverend turn into a wasp? Like, I know the lights are out, but like, come on.
That's what I want to know. Like, truly, do you all not sense someone disappearing from a chair right by you or across from you? Because, like, let me tell you something. When it's pitch dark in my room at night, I can still tell if my dog is staring at me at 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're telling me you did not see this fully grown man turn into a giant wasp? Like, be serious.
Like, you didn't hear it happen? You didn't hear his chair move?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. I will say, though, I love the entire vibe and mood of the dinner scene. The dark storminess with the thunder, the lighting, the way it's directed was so good. But again, guys, also, he killed his brother, his half brother, with a knife.
Wait, you're so right. Also, how did Rubina the unicorn like get that necklace without Lady Edison noticing or like realizing? Like, you're asking us to believe too much. That like I would I would be able to tell someone was right next to me stealing my beloved necklace right off of me, even if it was
You'd
like dark.
you'd be surprised, Rebecca. When I got back years ago, when I got stranded in Italy because my family was robbed. Sorry, this is a whole side tangent, but my family was robbed. We were stranded in Italy because they stole our passports and like all this stuff. Someone who was in the embassy with us, they got all of their stuff stolen sitting next to the person in a taxi. They cut the fanny pack. Had no clue till after they got out. So you would really be surprised when it
Okay.
comes to stealing stuff off of people.
Okay, fair enough. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
but the
crazy.
wasp, yeah, crazy. But the wasp thing, that's hard to believe that no one
Yeah.
sensed that.
I don't know what you want to call this scene, but I love the scene where they all get together and they're, finally putting the mystery together and being like, "You, Lady Edison, you, Colonel, you, Donna." No, like that is just such a fun scene. I love how Donna's just, I don't know what she's eating, but she's eating something and just watching it all go down. So me, such a mood. I I love that.
Was she eating popcorn?
It felt like popcorn, but I don't know if it was popcorn.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it was perfect for that whole scene. I love how with every single person, Donna was just like, so they killed them.
Yeah. Okay, we need to talk about the Colonel because what the heck? What the heck? This man fakes a whole disability just to trap his wife into like not leaving him? Huh?
I wish I could say this. Obviously, this is a fictional story, but I wish I could say that this was a story I had never heard before. But unfortunately, this happens.
Oh, I'm sure,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's really gross. Okay, but in this episode, the Colonel is just honestly disgusting. Like, I will say my one criticism with this episode is when he's looking in magazines from the
Oh,
war.
I hate that scene. That is
That
gross. Like,
is,
why do they include that? And the dancing, it always like grosses me out. I don't like it.
yeah, that part of this episode always like just disgusts me. Like, it was completely unnecessary. So,
Yeah.
like, he has that going against him. But the biggest thing is the wheelchair thing. Honestly, this really offend me? Not really, because it's fictional. But at the same time, it's like, why is this what they chose for the Colonel? Like, it was just
Yeah.
completely unnecessary to have a character choose to be in a wheelchair and fake that just so he could keep his wife. Like,
No, it's so, and it's like, bro, it's the 1920s. Like, she's not gonna leave
mhm.
you. Like, uh it's completely insane, and yeah, it is really just like gross and icky representation. The only reason I can think that they would do it is so it makes her secret not like, if they both have really bad secrets, it kind of balances it out. But I
Mhm.
feel like his secret is so much worse than her having like a secret baby from way before they were married.
Oh, 100%. They could have had his storyline literally just be, oh, he says he like served in the war for all this time, but actually he was discharged dishonorably.
Yeah, that'd be so much better.
I feel like that would be so much better and just not as icky.
Also, it's the way he gives himself up so easily. Like, Agatha
Yeah.
wasn't even like, she's like, actually, I had no idea. He folded on like after a second of pressure.
Which is like, how did he not give any signs beforehand? Like, did he pay people off who were like, dude, this man can walk without an issue?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It is.
Okay, let's get into Lady Edison's story because her story is really sad and it always makes me really sad.
It's completely tragic. You guys, she fell in love with a giant wasp disguised as a human in India.
Hmm.
They had this amazing love story. It was such a mood and such a vibe. And then he died in a monsoon. There was a flood.
Which, why couldn't he just fly away from the flood?
Well, because Donna says wasps die when they hit water.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But that always, I'm just like, why didn't he fly away? But maybe there wasn't time. But yeah, it is really sad. And then she's left with this baby, but because she was young and because it's, early 19th century, like, she had to give the baby up. Oh, if he's 40 and this is like 19, it would have been like 1800 still. So,
Because she said the monsoon was in 1885.
oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, no way she could keep that baby, unfortunately. But, oh, in the room, every time, like that scene where Donna goes into the room, like watching it back, that always makes me so sad too. And knowing that it was
Mm-hmm.
locked and like she just stayed there for however many months she was in there while she was pregnant. I'm like, oh, it's so sad. And she just keeps the room locked because it's too painful.
Yeah, her whole story is so sad. She ended up marrying a literal man child. And I just
Yeah.
feel so sad. Like, both of her sons are dead at the end of this. Her husband was faking it this whole time,
And she just has to like move on and be British and act like everything is fine.
which is just even more heartbreaking. Like, that girl went through so much.
I know, and she really didn't even get a chance to like talk and connect with her like Wasp son. So it's really sad.
I know.
I do like always kind of feel a little bad for the Reverend the Wasp in this
Mm-hmm.
episode, just cuz like, I don't know, you go 40 years and then you find out one day that you can turn into a wasp, and like having a like, that's just gonna make you question everything, especially if you're gonna have like a faith background and you're adopted. Like, that's just gonna be a huge life change. And like, he finally finds out the truth about his mom. I just always feel a little bit bad for him.
Yeah, and even Tent says at the end of this, like, he couldn't help any of this. Like, this was just his nature. Like, he couldn't help it. And you're right. Like, he's adopted. He grew up in an orphanage. He never knew his mother. And suddenly he finds out he's a wasp. Then he just, like, dies. And it's just, his story is really tragic, too, honestly,
Yeah.
now that we're talking about it.
And I feel like it's not talked about at all, but the way Donna literally kills him is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Ten says to her, Donna, he couldn't help it. And all she says is, neither could I. Which, like, fair enough, because he was kind of chasing them all to their death. But, like, at the same time, girl.
No, I think it's kind of crazy. Like, girl, what do you mean you couldn't help it? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, I do feel bad for him. Like, he drowned like his dad. It's really sad. Okay, the necklace, which first off is ugly. Like, that's an ugly
Mm-hmm.
necklace. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand the connection with Agatha Christie. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, I tried to pay attention as much as I could, and it was so really confusing, but this is what I got. I could be completely wrong, so don't quote me. So, Lady Edison has been wearing that ever since, her Wasp love gave it to her back in
Mm-hmm.
India. So she wore it, and the week before, the previous Thursday, these boys broke into the church the Reverend worked at and were stealing stuff. And he got so angry that it broke his genetic lock, and boom, he realizes he's a giant wasp in disguise, and he discovers all the tea about his mother and all of that because he's connected to the necklace. And because Lady Edison was wearing the necklace, and reading Agatha Christie novels around the same time his genetic clock broke, it bonded Agatha Christie and the Reverend as the Wasp. So confusing.
Yeah, I get that. Like, okay, that's why kind of like the murder mystery part of it all happens.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, why does him dying affect her and she loses her memory? Like, huh?
Yeah.
But okay, I guess.
And why isn't it like bonded to his mother? Like that would
Yeah.
make more sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Very, very odd. Classic Doctor Who thing that doesn't make sense, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I love how we're like talking about this and like really analyzing it when a little while ago we were like, guys, sometimes it's not that serious.
Uh, but sometimes you gotta.
No,
Um,
sometimes you gotta ask the questions.
yeah, we're nothing here if not analytical at
Mm-hmm.
times. What is the heart of this episode?
The heart of this episode is actually, you know what? I have no clue. Do you have any idea?
I really like the ending with Ten and Donna where they just say onwards, onwards. So let's just go with that. Onwards. Carrying
I like
on.
that.
Who is the star of the show? I think we both already know.
We do. The star of the show is Agatha Christie herself.
Yeah, she's really like the standout of the episode. We haven't really talked about it. The actress who plays her, I didn't write down her name, but she does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And she really sells this episode. She's in something else. I just remembered. What is she in?
Call the midwife.
Who does she play in Call the Midwife?
I if I'm remembering right, it's Sister Hilda.
Yes, that's right. She's one of the nuns in like one of the later
Mm-hmm.
seasons. You're so right. Yeah, she's great. She's a great actress. So, yeah, love her.
She's great. And again, I mentioned this at the beginning, but I just love that they covered why Agatha Christie disappeared.
Mhm.
Does her amnesia cause make sense with the necklace? Of course it
No.
doesn't. But I love that like this is my answer to what happened to Agatha Christie.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I love when the show answers little mysteries like that. It's just really fun. And it's like, okay, yeah, like maybe in real life we don't know, but we can kind of pretend. Side tangent, why have they never done an Amelia Earhart episode?
Clocked, you were so right. They need to do that immediately now.
Like, how
Please.
has that not happened? We being serious? Like, what are we doing?
I need that like yesterday.
Me too. Russell, get on it.
Please.
Do we have any reviews from the past?
Yes, we sure do. So I have a review or two from IMDb and then a review or two from Reddit because I just wanted a little variety.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be reading just a little snippet of this review on IMDb, and the user is DVD underscore connoisseur, and they wrote on May 17th, 2008, that even with the legendary Graham Harper at the helm, the Unicorn and the Wasp fails to excite.
Boo.
Having already encountered giant wasps in Torchwood this year, the alien in this episode left me feeling a case of deja vu. The cast is excellent, as you'd imagine, but even the talent on display can't save a rather uninteresting script.
Okay, we haven't seen Torchwood, so I did not know there was a giant wasp episode. So it is kind of silly
Same.
that they did like 2 giant wasp in 1 year. So I understand that would be kind of annoying for people.
Yeah, but the script was not uninteresting.
No, it's a fun script.
This second review is from IMDb by the user Farley Flavors 10, and they wrote on May 28th, 2008, saying that the thing they loved about this episode, and specifically the mystery in this episode, is how it messes with your perception as to which plot elements are relevant and what are coincidental. Even the title does that. Your natural instinct assumes that the unicorn and the wasp are linked in some way, and that you don't even think about the actual implications of how the older woman's love for the works of Agatha Christie actually affects the story's direction. Add all that to the intriguing blend of the sci-fi elements makes for a refreshing spin on a familiar formula.
That is true. There is like a lot of details that you can pick up on rewatches and things that like, oh, I didn't realize like that was going to be an important thing. Like even like the church break-in, that's just mentioned in like the garden scene, and then later on you realize like that's a kind of an important part of the story.
Completely. This last review was made on the Gallifrey subreddit a couple of years ago. I don't have an exact date, it just says 3 years ago, by the user Mad Assassin 5465, and they rated this episode a 3 out of 10.
Ooh, dang.
And they said, not a fan of this one. The only scene I liked was the Doctor getting poisoned and having to cure himself. I don't mind Doctor Who being silly, but this felt too silly. And I'm not sure anyone else felt this, but the story seemed to coddle Agatha Christie. Every other scene with her is the Doctor or Donna telling her she's brilliant. She is, but does this need to get repeated so often?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I kind of agree with
Yeah.
that. But you know what? This episode, is it silly? Yeah, but that's
Mhm.
why I like it. It's just a very comforting, cozy vibe, and I love it.
Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes I like popping this episode on when it's
Oh, same.
cold and stormy
Yeah,
outside.
it's nice. Well, I think that's all for this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week when everything changes and we meet the iconic river song in the silence of in the library, and I cannot wait to talk about it. But until then, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at timeywimeypod,
And email us anything and everything to timeywimeypod@gmail.com.
and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.